All right, welcome to All Things Conservative. I am Dalton Walker, your host, with wow, I just forgot his last name. Sorry, Job Saunders, Connor Essery, and Tyler Bruner, with a guest star today. This is Justin Sampson.
Hello.
Justin is a fellow sophomore, as I am. By the way, if you're wondering, last time we all do go to college, and there are technically 2 seniors in this room.
Technically, yeah, that's me.
Because Connor and Tyler are going to graduate in a year. So,
God, yeah, right?
I didn't know that.
Graduate in May.
I am.
Yeah, there
I
you
didn't
go.
know that.
I graduate. What?
Why'd say Job? Job's not graduating.
Yeah, Job's here. Job's here for another full year.
Oh, that's
you never know.
That's true. That's true. So
yeah, you never know.
So
all right. So if you guys listened to our podcast last week, I told us that the new prompt for this week would be the First Amendment rights and what you think about it. So I'm just going to leave it really open-ended and say, what do you have to say about the First Amendment?
About the first, well, it's amazing. It's the best thing I think ever made. To be quite honest, I think it's probably the single best piece of law ever written into any kind of constitutional paper.
Besides the Second Amendment.
Besides the Second Amendment, there's a reason why it's first. It's funny because there's a lot of things that go into the First Amendment that we can go into in today's episode.
Want me to actually read the whole First Amendment?
If you want to, I would love for you to read the First Amendment. It's a great piece of literature. So
yes,
I have a
Just
Great.
have the national anthem
right.
playing in the background as
Right.
he's saying it.
Oh, we'll see. All right, yeah. All right, here you go. So, the First Amendment says... Hold on. I have to let the little thing load because it's not good Wi-Fi.
I have
your
the
time.
All right.
amendment right here.
So,
here we go.
yeah.
First Amendment guarantees freedoms concerning religion, expression, assembly, and the right to petition. It forbids Congress from both promoting one religion over others and also restricting an individual's religious practices. It guarantees freedom of expression by prohibiting Congress from restricting the press or the rights of individuals to speak freely. So essentially that guarantees free speech and such. It also guarantees rights of citizens to assemble peacefully and... I just lost it already. But yeah, so essentially the First Amendment says that, you have the right to free speech, you have the right to assembly, right to, isn't press in there too?
Yes.
Yes.
Right to press and a right to...
freedom of religion is one of them.
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of religion.
And...
I have the ones here. It's freedom of religion, freedom of speech, less press.
That's what it was.
Right to assemble, right to a petition.
Yeah, there you go.
That's petition.
Yeah, petition. That's the one I think really matters. Really matters anymore. It does, but not as much as the other 4 ones. But
Petition is just a nicer way of saying protest.
Essentially, yeah. So is assembly in the into that kind of thing. So yeah, no, it's amazing, and I think a lot of people take it for granted because, especially, I guess it's not what I was going to start off with, but especially knowing. The left, not trying to point fingers, but the left likes to assume that the rest of the world has First Amendment rights, and that's not the case.
Mm-mm.
Canada has a strict rule where even nowadays, if you call someone a or a or any sort of slur, you could be facing fines or jail time. We are the only country in the world who has free speech and are allowed to express ourselves freely without being thrown in jail. It's fantastic.
Also, Europe, there's some laws that are new within Europe that if you trigger some people, you can go to jail.
How is that?
Probably in like Sweden or some of those progressive countries.
I just read that there's a law in Canada now that the government can legally take away your children if something about they want them to raise them non-gender. Or something like that, and if you don't do that, they can take your children away.
Are you kidding me?
That's an actual law.
I don't know if I don't know exactly how it works,
Right.
but I think it's like if you don't support your children in their quest to become whatever they want to be, they can legally take your children away from you.
Wow, they're taking Child Protective Services a little too far, aren't they?
I don't even think that's Child Protective Services.
No,
anymore.
it's not. It's just.
I'll try to find it, see if I can.
The one joke I think it was on Twitter, and it says a transgender kid is the same thing as a vegan cat. We all know who's making the decisions here. I think I found out funny. That's the best thing, and it makes sense because we all know who's making the decisions here. It's the parents.
Oh, hey, and in case you are listening to us and we do trigger you, none of us really like
Care
at
No?
all. Like, this is if you're listening to us, this is a political dialogue between 4 or 5 very conservative gentlemen when it comes to social aspects. Maybe not entirely economic aspects, but when it comes to social aspects, we're very, very conservative and Republican. So if it triggers you, there's always the escape button. You don't have to listen to us.
Yeah, you can always turn this off. There's always the escape route. Exactly. So it's always a. And if you want to come on the show, hey, we're more than happy to have guests on here with different political views.
Yeah, well, we're always willing to listen to opinions.
We're here to have a civil discussion. I mean, hence our header on Twitter and everything. And speaking of that, before we get too far into everything, I do want to thank our newest Twitter followers that we have, Miss Larissa Switlick. I think I'm saying that right. She is a professional huntress and angler. She also is the host of Larissa Unleashed on Destination America and World Fishing Network. So
That sounds gnarly.
that is amazing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, she has all these badass pictures of like her hunts and everything. It's dope as hell.
That sounds metal.
We also have a
Job, shut up.
Jeez. We also have the Idaho Gun Guy. Just a random dude he's a follower of Christ, husband, father, G-father. I don't know what that means. Pastor.
Godfather.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Thank you. Ice him. He's also a big follower of Making America Great Again. And I don't know what this is. Some random, I think it's a fake page, but it's here. So they're following us. So, hey, thanks for our 3 followers on Twitter and the many more we hope to get later on. But, yeah, back to the discussion.
My headset won't plug in. Oh, there, God. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I was a little screwed. But,
All right.
But yeah, so but no, continuing on the First Amendment, and I think this will kind of spark the discussion for today. So in recent news, there's been big controversy with Nike signing Colin Kaepernick to a big deal for their 30th anniversary of the Just Make It or just Make It, Jesus, Just Do It, the Just Do It campaign. Sparked controversy on Twitter, sparked controversy everywhere else. People wanting to boycott Nike, just like they want to boycott Walmart. I don't think it's gotten too far.
No.
Boycott Dick's Sporting Goods. You know, the whole boycott everything. Basically, at this point, everything's going to be boycotted. But
yep.
So
Socially boycotted.
Social boycotted, exactly. But the whole big thing is that I don't think they actually watched the commercial, because me and Justin were talking about this beforehand, and it's a good commercial.
It's a really good commercial.
It's a great commercial.
The message is so clear.
It's probably the best commercial I've seen about anything. I mean, it has Shaquem Griffin, who had to have his arm amputated at a young age. Mm-hmm. He's playing with the Seattle Seahawks now. They talked about Serena Williams, who's from Compton, and making a professional career, being the best tennis player arguably ever.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great commercial, and all of a sudden, the only reason why they're giving it backlash is because of Colin Kaepernick. My views on it, you know, he's not playing football anymore. You know, played for 6 years. He had a pretty decent career with the 49ers. You know, I think his quarterback rating was like 86%. Decent quarterback, you know. But that's not the case, obviously, because he brought a lot of controversy to the NFL.
Yep.
You know, brought in the kneeling, brought in the politics, honestly, that made ESPN unwatchable nowadays. You know, and do I really care about that? No, because the message of that commercial is so clear. You know, whether it was...
What's the message?
So the message is just do it.
the message that I saw was don't let people put down your dreams.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Exactly.
You know, there's a lot of really good NFL stories that go along with that. Mm-hmm. Eric Berry is a very good example of that. He beat cancer. Yeah. And he's one of the best safeties in the league. So it's like, you don't need to just, you know, honestly, you don't need to throw politics into everything. Like, politics should be saved for political debate. You don't need to be like, oh my God, that wall is painted red, which means it's a Republican.
Exactly. And
it doesn't need to drop into literally everything of your life. Like, Job, you have a Rubik's Cube right there. There's a red side, it's touching the blue side.
Yep.
That's wrong, because Republicans and Democrats can't be on the same plane.
Mm-hmm. And it's got the red, blue, and white. You know.
And that makes it American.
Are you a white supremacist?
Yeah.
How dare you white male?
See, like, it's that kind of stuff that really that really gets to me. It's like, you can't just throw politics into things that don't need to. You don't need to throw politics into.
Oh, especially sports.
Like, yeah, it's sports. You watch it because it's like fun and you like watching it. Oh yeah, thank God the Eagles beat the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh.
Just saying. Sorry, I'm
Blessed
sorry
be.
if anyone is an Atlanta Falcons fan, but
Do you not? Oh, I have the sense that you don't like the Falcons.
no, I don't like the Falcons.
I just hate NFL in general.
Hey,
okay.
ooh,
That's
man.
all right.
But
Okay.
but no, like you were saying, like the thing that gets to me nowadays is that I can't turn on ESPN. Hell, today they were talking about the Colin Kaepernick thing. I don't care. I want to see sports. I turn on ESPN to watch sports. I watch SportsCenter. I absolutely love SportsCenter. I love the top tens. I love to see highlights from the night before because I don't get the opportunity to watch every single game. So the thing about me, it's like I don't want to turn on ESPN and hear about the latest Donald Trump tweet. I don't care. I want to watch sports.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like the last episode that we were talking about, how there's a time and place for politics, and it doesn't have to be everything. Kind of like what we were talking about with the comedians on our campus, and
Yeah.
how there's politics just unnecessarily just shoved in the middle of like a comedian show and whatnot. I just find that very, very ironic.
We also talked about it last weekend, where it's like some professors like throwing in like politics in the curriculum, and and there's just some things that politics don't have to have a part in. I mean, I know that America is a country based around politics, but there's a lot of things where it's like you don't need to throw politics into it.
No, exactly.
Like, a very, very good example of that, Battlefield 5.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Battlefield 5 is not going to sell any freaking copies when it comes out.
Well, it probably will.
It's going to sell copies.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be as popular as like anything else because they essentially ruined that game.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Do you know what they did? They threw politics into it.
They did.
From my story is it wasn't really the woman or like the woman with the hand claw that got gamers angered. It was the creative designer who bashed the consumers for not liking the woman in there. And
Yeah.
what do you say? Something like, oh, if you don't like it, then don't buy it. Well, okay.
They're not buying it. I'm speaking from.
By
the way,
that creative designer is now doesn't have his job.
yeah. By the way, Connor currently has a shirt on that is the
The whole Constitution.
the Constitution. And
Oh my God.
And the Declaration of Independence.
American flag on the
Put your-
back.
Yeah.
Pike up to the mouth.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
got whole Constitution and then like the.
Guns.
Declaration of Independence and it's
Yeah.
great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I
it
need-
is.
where did you get
Um,
that shirt?
I got that at basic training.
Really?
Yeah. They had a whole bunch of. I think it's called Vertigo is the apparel company.
Okay.
But they just have a bunch of American-esque.
Yeah,
things.
that's awesome. But going back to what I was saying about Battlefield 5, is that speaking from personal experience, I thought Battlefield 1 was great.
Yeah.
Because of this one reason, not because they didn't throw politics into it. They kind of did just a little bit, and that's fine because they had women, and that was great. Because that storyline was awesome. No, I play games. I am a history and political science major. I play video games because they're historically accurate. Battlefield 5 is not historically accurate in the slightest.
No, it's not.
It's like, all right, let's take this into historical context. A woman who is on the front lines gets her hand sliced off. Her right hand. The hand that she uses to pull the trigger. No, she's not going to go back onto the battlefield.
No.
No, there's no way. There's no... in World War II, honestly, she probably might have died.
Yeah, probably.
Well,
So it's like-
even males don't go back on the battlefield when they lose
No.
their hand.
You don't
Yeah.
have a right
They
hand.
might go in a support role, but they're not going to be on the front lines.
No.
It's just major, and like I think we were talking about it the other day too. Dalton, Jesus,
You're my roommate.
I need sleep. So the whole thing is like, and even then, women, there weren't that many women in the. Wow, I cussed. Wow, that's a first. I have initiated.
Hey, I'm offended.
Shut
Shut the
Shut
heck
up.
up,
You're
Joel.
white.
So are
Hey,
you.
we're all white.
Hey.
Yes, we
Now the cat's
But
out
I
of
have
the bag.
privilege points because I'm a redhead.
That's true.
Yeah, that is
But
true.
like I was gonna say, like during World War II, like women weren't on the battlefront, were they? They really weren't. Like
Not
they're
on- not on the West-
scarce.
not on the Western
Not on
front.
the Western one. Maybe in Europe, but not in the U.S.
No,
Hardly
there were
any.
no there was no. Okay, Britain, America, and Britain, America, and Canada did not allow women in to serve in the infantry corps of World War II. I know there might be some exceptions, but they didn't have any like straight up infantry corps that were just women. They did not allow them into special divisions.
Women were mostly nurses.
Yeah, nurses.
Right. Really
And the only places where that would make a difference would be on the Finnish front of when the Finnish were fighting the Soviets because they're fighting for their homeland, and when the Soviets were fighting the Germans when the Germans invaded.
When you need everyone on
When
hand.
you need literally everyone. Same thing with France. When France got invaded, I guarantee you there was women that pulled up arms that were like, let's kill some Nazis.
Yeah.
Huh?
Should we get back to the topic?
No.
No.
I like talking about this. No, yeah, we should. We should definitely get back to topic.
I had something else written down. So yeah, no, the whole first. Let me pull. I had just closed out of my notes. Oh, here we go. All right. Well, we'll move with Colin Kaepernick because I really don't care about him. You know, if he has a happy life, then fine. You know, he's not going to play football anymore.
Nope.
I don't think he really cares about it anymore. He has a really great term with Nike now. So, and I'm wearing Nike right now.
As am I.
So you know what? And here's the thing. Actually, I'll go back to that for 1 second. Talking about people on, and I'm gonna talk about the right now. Like this is gonna be crazy because I'm talking about people on the right. People who are online saying, let's boycott Nike, let's boycott Walmart.
Burn the shoes.
Let's burn the shoes, That's so stupid. I would have been like, okay, you guys are selfish because you're burning shoes that you could have given away to charity.
Well, what does burning shoes do? It just,
nothing.
It's kind of like
nothing.
It's like the riots that happened, in St. Louis in Ferguson.
Exactly.
Where you're burning down stores, you're causing all you're doing is hurting the public.
You're not doing anything productive.
You're breaking windows. Someone has to clean that up. You're
Exactly.
not going to clean it up.
No, of course not.
So you're making more people clean up your mess, even though it was your fault.
They are, and that's the thing that got to me when I saw people burning Nike stuff and burning their shoes. It's like, what is this proving? Nike doesn't care. Nike has their online sales have gone up 31% since they hired on Colin Kaepernick. That was 3 days ago. They have already been selling more shoes and more merchandise than they did before. And guess what? Burning your shoes isn't going to make a difference. That's why I'm so critical about this because I just don't understand it. Because then here's a story. Here's a funny story. So I was at work yesterday, and we sell Nike stuff, of course. We're hip at sports. We sell a lot of stuff that's Nike. Some guy on Facebook that my boss knows was doing the whole boycott Nike. I'm never going to buy a Nike thing again. But then he comes into the shop and he buys a college T-shirt. Guess who sponsors college football? Nike. Wow.
It's like a protest. It's useless.
It's useless. Exactly. So that's why I'm so critical about people, quote unquote. I don't say people on my side, and it probably is Republicans, but they're just making a dumb excuse to burn something that they don't agree with.
I think people need to start picking their battles a little more.
They do.
Like actually protest something that needs to be protested.
Yeah.
Because if you're just protesting all the time, then protesting is meaningless and it doesn't do anything at all.
That's about right. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I've been seeing it, and it's just ridiculous to see that people who probably don't agree with the left or probably on our side are doing this. It doesn't prove anything. It proves that you're stupid and you just wasted $100 on shoes. So, yeah. I'm done.
I feel like this is why Tyler really wanted to get talking today.
Yeah.
I did. I was just, it was on my mind. So
What grinds your gears, Tyler?
What grinds my gears? Liberals.
Okay.
Doesn't it grind all of our gears in this room?
I guess so.
All right. Well, let's get to the back of the First Amendment.
Yeah.
All right. So, First Amendment. Now, I politically am a independent, but I have conservative leanings in the social structure of things. But I have liberal leanings or progressive leanings in my economic views.
Right.
But one of my two of my biggest fans, two of the people that I am a big fan of, Ben Shapiro.
Yes.
Who I know all of us are
Yes.
really big fans of in here.
Our hero.
Yeah. Our hero, Ben Shapiro. And Milo Yiannopoulos.
Indianapolis.
He is the most amazing person to watch on YouTube when you're just having a bad day. Because you'll get on YouTube, feminists hate him.
He's
absolutely.
a gay Catholic Jew.
Yeah. A gay Catholic Jew. Or not
No.
Jew. He's not Jewish.
He's not Jewish.
No.
No.
That's
He's
been.
But he's
Yeah,
gay and
that's right.
Catholic, but his his husband now?
Yeah,
they're
he's-
married.
he's-
yeah,
who's black.
He's
He's
black.
Black.
You can't throw any shade back at him
Because it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
I love it. I was watching this thing, so I don't remember. I don't know if he was at Barkley or where he was.
Barkley?
I think
Barkley?
so, Berkeley. Whatever. I don't
Barkley,
care.
Woof woof. Woof woof Barkley.
That's basically what it sounds like. But no. So he was at UC Berkeley, I think, and there's people outside protesting. There was like 5 of them that they were complaining, and it's like Milo Yiannopoulos is a he's homophobic, and someone's like, well, isn't he gay? And they're like, yeah, but he can still be homophobic. What? I was like,
Logic?
how is that an argument? His husband is black. He talks about having sex with him. How is that? I don't get it.
The best thing is when someone calls Milo a white supremacist, because he just
Oh,
he
goes-
just yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
I've
first
seen
thing he does
videos.
is he sits there and he goes, "Prove it."
Yeah, that's literally what he'll say. Yep.
And they can't because they just don't have an argument.
Side
Yep.
note, so I mentioned that bill. Ben Shapiro has a whole 3-minute video. It's called the Ontario's Bill 89, and then you can just look up Ben Shapiro, and he'll have a 3-minute video on it. So if you want to look that up, go ahead.
If you find that you like Ben Shapiro, go subscribe to him in the Daily Wire.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's very great. I think Ben Shapiro and like Steven Crowder having like a battle because like Steven Crowder's got like the Mug Club, and then
I am a Mug Club member.
are you really?
I am.
Oh,
I have
dude.
my mug.
I'm jealous. I want a Steven Crowder mug.
Because the Mug Club, it's only $60 for students, and I was like, and there was a Christmas deal as well, so it was even more. And I was like, dude, I'm not gonna pass up that. And I just love Steven Crowder, and
He's a good dude.
It's his show is just awesome.
If Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder ran in 2020, I think there's no doubt I would vote for them right off the bat.
I think Ben Shapiro's going out.
I think
for
he-
president. I think so.
He's someone
He-
said that he was. I'm
there's a
not
rumor.
sure if he is, but if he is, I know for a fact he's gonna get millions of people
Oh,
who
yeah.
vote
Oh,
for
yeah.
him.
Right now, it's just a rumor.
Yeah, but
I really hope
who
he
knows?
does it. I really, really hope he does it. He could be one of the youngest presidents ever.
Exactly.
And one of the greatest.
Hey, are we supposed to be talking about them First Amendment?
Okay, all right, yeah.
That's true.
Okay, but I got talking on that subject because Milo is technically not like he's not like super conservative because he doesn't come from the United States,
Right.
but he is a very adamant supporter of the First Amendment because he thinks it's the best amendment ever created, and obviously Americans. Okay, can anyone in this room tell me when the First Amendment was created
When the First
without
Amendment was
looking at your phones?
1791.
Hey, Google.
It's like 1789, something like that.
I think
1791.
Yes, 1791.
December
I was
15th.
close.
Yeah.
1791.
Yeah,
I was 2 years off.
But that's 1791.
Yep.
1791,
And it
That's-
survived.
and
to this day.
it's still super effective today.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the right of free speech is very loose-ish. Like it says you can say whatever you want, but obviously you can't. But I want to talk about where do you guys think that right stops?
When it
Oh.
infringes on other people's right of speech.
Well, the
I wanted to have some
definition.
discussion before you went straight for the guttural.
Well, you asked
Jeez.
for it.
Oh my gosh. No, that's exactly what I think.
Yeah.
Like, I was in a.
Okay. I'll back it up. I'll back it up. So, or do you want to
No,
do it?
yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, do it.
Okay.
Do
I'm
it.
just gonna tell a quick story.
All right.
All right, so I was in a debate with this girl in high school.
Okay.
And I got talking, and it was about transsexual people. So not transsexual, sorry. Transgender.
There you
Jeez,
go.
I can't talk. But
Potato,
same
you know.
thing. They're the same thing. Tyler and I had a nice conversation in our dorm
think-
the other
yeah.
night, which we'll talk about later. But we were having this debate, and I got to a point where I said a view that I strongly feel is correct, and that is that transgender people have gender dysphoria. That is an actual thing that is like it's an actual mental disease because it is caused by chemicals in the brain. And sorry, what are you looking at, Justin?
I thought somebody was holding a giant box of Bud Light and was like, hey, you're going to have a good night tonight.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like a 36 pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna have a good
Damn.
night tonight.
All right. So, but going back to what I said that people have gender dysphoria. After that, she would not let me talk.
Really?
Wouldn't let me talk. She I was like, now let me explain. She's like, I'm no. Then she started talking louder than I could. So I just kind of like sat back and I'm like, all right, I can't talk. And we have a certain amount of time, and then the time ran out, and I had to go we had to sit back down, and the teacher got up and goes, Dalton, did you have a finishing statement? And she stands back up and goes, if he can talk one more time, I'm leaving.
Did you talk?
Yeah.
Attaboy.
So I was like, all right. So I stood up, I gave my clothes, and she walked out of the room, and he looked at me. He was fresh out of college. He was just joined our high school. He just looked at me and he goes, why do you do this to me? And I'm like, hey man, I gotta express my views. She got to express all hers, so I expressed all mine. And then he goes, well, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And that's what we're about in this room right here. Everyone
Exactly.
is entitled to their own opinion.
Exactly.
It might not be right to us. Our opinions might not be right to them. But everyone is entitled to
Yes.
their own opinion under the Constitution of the United States.
Yee. God
Amen.
dang. That's right. But so to roll back.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm throwing it back to Tyler.
So
Take
yeah,
it back a little
so
bit.
throwing it back to what you said, when does that constitutional right stop? Justin went right for the kill.
Yep.
Stop swearing.
Maybe I want to swear.
No.
No. Okay, I've only said it twice. I'm doing
trying to
really
be
good.
family
We're
friendly here.
past PG-13. We are now in rated R territory.
That's not until we start talking about rape and stuff. But I
when
will
you
stop.
say
I will
what-
stop. I have been very good. I've been mentally aware, so I will
Tyler, sounds like you got some editing to do.
stop. Maybe I have 2 edits to do,
Just
so
a
that's
couple
fine.
beeps and you'll be fine.
But no. So like I was saying, so when that right stops is when you say something that causes a disturbance in the peace. So if you go into a movie theater and you yell fire, then of course people are going to have a problem. And that's when, it's kind of okay, well, you yelled fire and people don't know if you have a gun, or I'm going to shoot a gun in a movie theater. Then people are going to be like, okay, well, we have the right to, take away that right because
That's
you.
hate speech.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
Hold on there.
Hold up. I'll
We'll
answer
get
that
to
question.
that. We'll get to that.
Well, are we going to wait for that?
Yeah, let's
I want you to
let's wait
continue.
for
Okay.
hate speech.
All right,
That's
all right.
fine.
Wait
That's
for
fine. Yep.
hate speech.
Hate speech is getting there. Well, we'll get there. I have a perfect answer for that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
But yeah, so when it disturbs the peace is when it is wrong, obviously, or when you act upon something you say. So if you say, I'm going to punch you, but I don't do anything,
Oh, no.
it doesn't matter. But if I say, I'm punch you, and I actually follow up on my action, then that's where it, because obviously you assaulted someone.
Yeah.
And then Justin obviously went for the kill, and he said when it impedes on someone else's First Amendment rights. And God bless you, sir, for saying that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That
I
was
love
Needed
you.
to be said.
You needed to be said.
It
That
did.
was exactly where I was going to go with it, but I was trying to wait about 10 minutes, but Justin just kind of
Went for the kill.
straight for the jugular.
Yup. Yeah, no, that's about right.
So do you want to go back to hate speech now?
I do want to go back to hate speech
okay.
because I love this topic.
All right.
Same.
So,
hate. All right.
Do you wanna say something,
No,
or-
no. So hold on.
okay.
Hate speech.
Mm-hmm.
This is speech that discriminates against. Hold on, I just got a really good point. Sorry, I just
Okay,
formulated
go,
it. Okay,
keep-
okay. So that is speech that infringes on someone's like it's a hateful word, or it's something like that makes people feel bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry to use that very blatantly, but it's your choice whether you get offended or not. Obviously, the N-word's not okay.
yeah.
But that comes from years and years of slavery and being called that, and so it's I can understand where that comes from.
But again, you still have the right to
Yeah,
say
but you
it.
still have the right to say it. That's
Yes.
the thing.
Mhm.
So are you saying that hate speech is protected speech?
A little bit.
A little bit. Oh man.
Because you know who else gets to say that kind of stuff? The KKK. The KKK.
And all the black people just running around on the street calling each other it too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
But the KKK have rallies and they get protected by the police. You want to know why that is? because they are protected by the First Amendment and they can say whatever the hell they want.
As long as they're not violently protesting.
Exactly.
Or
doing-
killing
and they
people.
they don't violently protest. The last time someone in the KKK killed someone, it was like 1890 something.
I was gonna say not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago. And nowadays they burn a cross or two.
Yeah.
They
Not with people on
it's
it.
like we
but,
got to
you know.
get rid of the people. You know.
Just burn a cross or two.
Well, they did. There was a court case, and I hate it because it was a long time. It was like sophomore year the last time we took like a law class. It was a like legitimate court case where someone had burned a cross in front of a black man's front lawn. And he's like, what do we do? Is this hate speech? Was it not? Like, there's a lot of certain weird scenarios that are there, but hate speech is protected speech. As much as you hate it, it is. It's protected.
See, now, someone said this to me. It's that you guys are going to get a freaking kick out of this.
Oh, God.
All right. So, someone picks a different pronoun. All right?
Okay.
It is like, let's say it's a woman who decides to call herself a man. All right? It's my decision whether I want to call her a man or a woman. If I know that she is a man, or if I know that she is a woman, but she's pretending to be a man, and I use the woman pronoun, I call her in front of her, someone said that that's considered hate speech.
Wait,
And
so
that people can be jailed for it.
so misgendering someone.
Yeah,
Whatever it's
misgendering
called.
someone or refusing to use someone's pronoun, especially if you don't believe in it. Now, here's where it freaking gets me. It's that it's my decision.
Yes.
And it's my decision to be able to use that, but it's your decision to be able to use your First Amendment right. It's your ability to use your First Amendment right to be called what you want to be called. But that's what you want. And what I want is to strongly believe in what I believe. Now, I know Job was over there smiling, and so I know that Job's got something to say. But with me, that's not hate speech. That's my decision.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna get jailed for that, I'm gonna fight till hell and back in court, saying that is my First Amendment right to say what I want to be said. And she or he or whatever doesn't have any legal right to tell me that I can't use that word.
Exactly. Joby had something to say?
No, I that was just right on the nail. Dalton.
is.
Yeah.
I
It
liked
also is.
Like,
The only places that are punishable they're only places. I'm stuttering like an idiot. The only places that you can be jailed for misgendering someone is places outside of the U.S.
Like Canada.
Like
or
Canada,
Europe.
they have a very,
And
very, very strict transgender law now. I got to find it now because I know Tony sent it to us.
not to mention Sweden.
Sweden is a dumpster fire. Are you kidding me? Anyone who thinks that Sweden is a paradise is joking themselves.
Well,
Geographically,
but you know,
probably.
honestly, there's so many people that want to go to Sweden. We should just let them be
Well,
under
they have
that
the right to
belief
leave
anyways.
whenever they want
Yeah,
to.
exactly. Here it is. So this is a new law from Canada. It says this new law in Canada could remove kids from parents who are. Oh yeah, no,
That's that bill.
There
That's
you go.
that
Okay,
bill.
okay. I thought it was something else, but yeah, no, it's messed up. They're literally separating their children from their parents, all because they want to accept transgenderism. Are you kidding me?
You know, Canada's been that one place where I think that's one of the reasons why Steven Crowder left was because you couldn't argue with them. You know, if you misgendered someone, you could go to jail. Now it's getting to the point where if you tell Billy that he's not Sally, and they can take it to court, and if they agree that he's Sally, then they can take him away from you.
Well,
or something like that.
Job, did we have this discussion about someone who went to Canada and literally changed their gender within a day?
That was Lauren Southern.
Yes.
She's Canada born,
Mhm.
and it's like a day process to try to change your gender. No questions asked at all.
It's ridiculous. And then Sweden is actually having schools that are like
there's one.
no gender.
One preschool that has no gender, and they have Sweden has 3 pronouns. Connor and I know this because we watched Papa. Yeah, Mappa.
Yes.
Mappa, Papa. There's but the gender pronouns over there are him, her, and hen.
Hen,
like a
that's right.
chicken.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's so
That's
so dumb.
actually a legally protected pronoun.
It is very legally protected. Justin, you've been quite silent over there. You doing okay over there, buddy?
I'm doing great.
All right, just
Yeah.
making sure, man.
You have something to throw in, just throw it in. No, but Sweden is one of the most progressive countries in the world, and it says that has one of the highest standards of living. That might be true. Might be true. And I know that Denmark
There you
Denmark has the highest standard of living.
Oh yeah.
But they're socialist.
Yeah. Oh.
So
Socialism. How about democratic socialism, everyone? How about that idea?
I mean, it works. It works with small populations.
Oh yeah, very small.
With small populations,
Not
like-
United States
like,
population.
no,
Mhm.
no. People that think that can work in like the United States, like, oh, why can't we have universal healthcare? Do you know how much money it would take to have universal healthcare for 327 million Americans?
That's a lot.
Not to mention all the immigrants who are also benefiting off of
Yeah.
What?
So,
What? Yeah. What about free speech?
oh, we're still
yeah,
on the
yeah,
topic.
yeah,
We're still
yeah,
we're still
oh,
on the
yeah.
we're still
Yeah.
on the topic.
We're just getting more onto the hate
but-
speech kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and going back to Sweden. Well, I mean, tell me what country has 5 times the amount of gun crime? Sweden, because they open up their borders. But that's a different discussion, of course. But that is a different discussion.
For
But,
next week,
but-
where we will be discussing immigration.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Sweet.
I love how you come up with these and then we all like react to it. That's it's great. It's great. But no. So yeah, going back to like the whole First Amendment thing, I think the left really doesn't understand how great this country is. Just constitutional wise. Countries literally throw out constitution after constitution on like a yearly basis. People are on like their 57th constitution in their history. And us, we've had the same one for 200 plus years. And it works. That's just it. It
America's
works.
celebrating its
just
250th anniversary in
Whew.
a couple of years.
God bless America. I think it's like, what,
2028 or something?
2028. No, it's earlier than that, isn't
2020, 2028.
it? Okay.
Or 2024. No, hold on. 1776 plus 250. Yeah, 2026. I was close.
2026. Okay. So very close. Yeah.
So
I mean,
eight years from now.
So I mean, we've had the same kind of set of rules for years, and it just works. And I don't think they understand that where they live now is amazing. Like they can look at a certain aspect and take the most minute piece of information, like Donald Trump said this, and make an excuse for why this country isn't good. If you want to think that way, then fine, go to Sweden and enjoy. But I'm going to enjoy my free speech.
So going about free speech, I actually have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Go for
So
it.
do you guys believe that hate speech actually exists?
Yes.
It,
I have to
it
say
does.
that it does.
It does. It exists, but it's protected. Like if you come up to someone who is of African American descent and you call them the N-word, I mean, it's hate speech, but it is protected.
Hate speech all depends on the content of your language, right?
That's
So
what
if
I
I
was
say,
gonna-
what the F is up, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just talking to you, maybe I'm just happy to see you, right? And
Yeah.
I'm expressing that with the F word. But if I say, hey, go, F yourself.
Yeah.
That technically is considered hate speech because I'm hating on you.
And this is
But
where
it's still free speech.
And this is where I get mixed up. Like Canada right now, who has the whole transgenderism law, who makes the decision of what hate speech is? Who makes that decision? The government?
Oh yeah, fun fact about Sweden: they have like all female government right now.
Yeah, that's
That's
not going
cute.
very well.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
No. And that's the thing. Joke to us. But no, that's the thing I get mixed up. Who constitutes what hate speech is outside of the United States? Who would constitute that? The government? The president? The Secretary of Defense? Who would make that decision?
Yeah, and that's the reason why. And so the reason why I brought up that question, it seems like because nowadays hate speech can be easily misinterpreted in terms of context and what people use in its content.
Context. Keyword context.
Context is king. That's why I don't want to ever move to Canada.
I personally believe that hate speech isn't real. It's all under free speech. It just all goes under that big bubble of free speech. Hate
Yeah.
speech
And I guess it's
just
what
doesn't
you
really
depend-
exist.
I guess it's what you define hate speech as. If
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
something
so-
that's hurtful towards someone else, then yeah, that exists because everyone offends everyone all the time.
yeah, of course.
But personally, I don't believe that hate speech is really anything that I don't know.
I'm gonna say
What's
something
your-
just because we could just hold on, Joe.
Okay.
Just give me a second. I have to say this just because like it has to be said. people that use the "I'm offended" thing all the time, you know, be honest, just grow some balls and freaking deal with it. Like, I get to a point where I'm like listening to people. It's like, you offended me because you called me that, and it's like,
Good.
yeah, I don't really care. Just kind of grow some balls and be like, oh, I don't like this person. I don't have to talk to him.
Yeah.
Just,
I tell Job this all the
Or
time.
grow some ovaries,
but there's
whichever gender you are,
yeah, there's
or sexuality. I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
there's people who are all like, oh, you're so mean. I was like, I never said I was nice.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. It's like
Did I
grow
ever
up.
tell you
Humans
that,
are,
hey, I'm
humans
nice?
are naturally evil.
Speaking of being triggered, so this is okay. It's not really like a politic thing, but my mother was at a volleyball game the last night. It was a middle school volleyball game, right? Nothing that serious, but there was a call that it was like the ball was clearly in, and there was a middle school who was the line judge, but she called it out, and they're like, or no, she called it in, but it was clearly out, and all my mother said was it's out. And the 7th grader goes crying to the coach, who comes over to my mom and continues to chew my mom's ass. And I'm like, dude, grow some balls. Like, come on.
That's something I would like to mention. That I don't know. I feel like just people are too soft nowadays. People worry way too easily about the smallest of things. I mean, you have people like Connor who are in the ROTC who have to worry about not getting shot.
Yeah.
stuff
Well, we
like
don't
that.
have to do an ROTC.
Well, okay, but in the army,
Well, yeah. Well, and I don't think we're saying to not be emotional. We all need to be emotional from time to time. I mean,
We need a war.
Connor left out a long time ago.
I'm soulless.
You're
dude.
soulless. You're ginger. I mean, that's what I expected. But we're all emotional beings. But it gets to the point where people are way too emotional and way too worried about what people say.
Yeah.
Who cares? I
All right.
don't. I stopped caring back at Nam.
About 70 years ago, guys about our age were storming in on Germany.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
nowadays
Younger than us.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
18. they were
18,
storming.
18 and 19.
they're storming into D-Day, into the beaches of Normandy. Are you
About
kidding?
Now I have
years
to worry
ago.
not whether I offend you because I said something.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm guessing that's probably why most old people are conservative.
More than likely.
Or just hate our generation.
Or just hate our
I mean,
we are the millennials.
Well, Joe, do you got something pulled up on your phone or?
Yeah.
What's
So I was going to bring us back into the hate speech, and I actually found the definition for hate speech.
Oh, boy.
So it says hate speech is speech that attacks a person or group on the basis of attributes such as race, religion, ethnic origin, national origin, sex, disability, sexual orientation, or gender identity.
Wait, so that you're talking like white privilege is hate speech?
I guess so.
Oh no.
Oh, screw your logic, liberals.
Yeah, right. Like
So if we're going off by this definition of hate
is.
speech,
Well,
I
and-
guess hate speech is a thing, but
It-
but you know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say, well, it depends on your definition. No, that one,
Yeah,
the
this
actual
one.
definition. Because I was watching the newest.
What's the source of that definition?
It's
Mary
from
Web-
Wikipedia.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh,
good.
we- okay.
Like,
Okay,
I
well,
mean,
still, you
Yeah.
look at a Merriam-Webster, whatever.
Yeah.
But that was the same thing that when what do you want to say? What was it? Oh, Stephen Crowder was doing the change my mind thing, and he was saying that Trump isn't a fascist, and everyone and the ones who disputed him were like, well, it depends on your definition of fascism.
which they did Stephen did try to cover that in the very first minute of their conversation
Yeah.
of whoever came into the
Yeah,
table.
like look at the definition. This is the definition of fascism. And they're like, well, it depends on your definition. No.
Because there's only one definition.
Because there's only one definition. Let's call a spade for a spade,
So the
Stephen-
Merriam-Webster definition is speech expressing hatred of a particular group of people.
Yeah. So
So that includes
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think we could close this up saying that hate speech does exist, but it is also free speech.
It's all
Yeah.
protected under free speech. Exactly. So
Even if you don't like it, it technically still is free speech.
exactly. So
if you want to look more into hate speech, Stephen Crowder did a change my mind that hate speech is not right.
it was like hate speech isn't.
Hate speech is free speech.
There you go. Yeah.
Change
There
my
you go.
mind.
Perfect.
You can look that up on YouTube.
It's a great video. Stephen Crowder's a great man.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he
There's
is.
a lot of great people.
All right, so we had a very meaningful discussion on
Yeah.
free speech today, and next week it'll be immigration because that is definitely a very prominent thing in
Very.
American politics today. So I'm going to wrap it up. Say thank you for listening to All Things Conservative with Job, Connor, Tyler, and your host Dalton, and your guest star / speaker, Justin. Thank you for being here very much today.
Thank you for having me.
You are very, very welcome. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.